Healing Queen on this Sunday morning. I heard there was supposed to be a protest yesterday. Was there a protest yesterday? Because I didn't really pay attention to it. I don't think too many people paid attention to it. I was doing some foot traffic, my own kind of foot traffic. So apparently there was supposed to be some kind of world or a countrywide protest. Apparently there was a fair amount of people out there. Fair amount of people who showed up. Maybe it was a fair amount of people to show up, but I don't think it was a lot of black folk that showed up. A lot of black folk that didn't show up. But I'm sure it was plenty of white folks showed up. See, here's the thing. We didn't feel like we needed to come out and protest. We had come out and protest when it came to our vote. 92% of us females and 84% of us black males. We came out and we protested. We said this was gonna happen. We predicted there was no good that was gonna come from voting for Donald Trump. And we pretty much was right? It was you other folks that decided that he would probably be better than the black lady for president. Now, he said he doing what he said he was gonna do, right? Unfortunately, you all didn't think that what he said he was gonna do was gonna affect you all. When he said he was gonna lay off folks and try to find money and this, that, and the third, let's be clear. They're not finding money to give to American people. They're finding money to give to the rich. The 880 billion that they're going to take from Social Security, take from the veterans benefits, take from Medicaid, take from food stamp program, all of those things that they're going to take from those programs are going to affect everyday ordinary poor folk. They're going to cut that stuff off so they can give the tax breaks to the rich. It was in a memo that went down to the senators of that particular committee, the committee that's in charge of health and welfare, right? Or I don't know what the name of it is. But they got a memo from Donald Trump and Elon Musk saying that they have to cut veterans benefits, that they have to cut Social Security, they have to cut Medicaid for autistic and handicapped people. They're going to cut all of those programs in order to feed for the tax cut for the rich. That's why they're doing these cuts. That's why they're getting rid of all of these jobs. But the regular, everyday Americans, y'all just didn't want to see it. We tried to explain that, explain that. So now we have some kind of protest that went on in the U.S. yesterday, but we didn't see too many black folks at these protests. Reason why we didn't go to the protests as much as we probably would have is because when we voted for Kamala and we voted not to have Donald Trump in office, you all decided that you wanted to have Donald Trump in office. And you know what? The most ironic thing, all of the things that Donald Trump is destroying and putting away is affecting you all more than it's affecting us black folks, right? All of the Hispanic, all of the ethnic brown people, you name it, they coming for you. Regardless of whether you're legal or illegal, they're coming for you. And they're sending you overseas to prisons without any kind of due process. That's ironic, boy. American citizens getting deported without due process. Say it ain't so. White folks getting killed. No, white folks getting dumped off their jobs, getting laid off at all kinds of departments from the government, just so you wouldn't have to hire black folks or brown folks. But it's all you white folks that's getting broke off. This is what y'all asked for, but y'all thought, yes, farmers can't find labor. Ain't nobody, and this is the weirdest part. All you kept hearing before the election was, oh, all of these immigrants are taking us American jobs. Those are jobs y'all don't want to do. And those are jobs that farmers don't want to pay a $15 and $20 wage. That's the whole point. If they hire American workers aren't going to work for those farmer jobs unless they pay $15, $20 an hour. And they can't afford it. The farmers have been getting over like fat rats, hiring this low level working crew, these immigrants at $10 an hour. Now, if the immigrants don't work, that means they gotta hire American workers. They gotta raise their prices. They gotta raise their wages, which means they gotta raise the prices on us. So either way it go, we gonna lose. But yet, there was a protest yesterday. We black folks stood down from the protest because we told you before election day, we told you on election day, you cannot afford to hire Donald Trump as our president. And yet nobody listened. People hired Donald Trump because of several reasons. Immigration. But you didn't think the immigration was going to affect you. That's a sad thing. It's sad that it's sad that he had to show you. That's sad that you had to be shown instead of told. We told you the iron was hot. We told you the stove was hot, and you went over there and you voted for him anyway. Now we have a crashed economy that we probably never will recover from. Now we have people laid off in the workforce, skilled people laid off in the workforce. Y'all don't even know how bad it's going to get. And most people don't even understand how bad it is. You have a workforce that used to be skilled in regular labor in the government. Now you have thousands of people out in the workforce looking for a job. So what makes us think a person that has skills, years of experience, blah, 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 ain't gonna beat you out, lowly worker who don't have no kind of skill beyond McDonald's, Walmart, or working in office? What makes you think that all them governmental people ain't gonna come and get those jobs that you got? And then you're gonna be forced. You're gonna be forced to get unemployment, or you're gonna be forced to work that $10 an hour job over there that them immigrants used to work. We got thousands of people in the job workforce now. In the workforce, the unemployment rate is going to be catastrophic for us. When are we going to recover from something like this? That's the thing. It's going to take years to recover from something like this. One man who we should have got rid of, years ago, came back and destroyed our economy, destroyed our way of life. No, it's not a matter of he's better than Kamala. He wasn't better than anyone, period. He never should have been allowed to come back into office. Okay. And these are stories that we hear. There was a married couple in Wisconsin. The one was Colombian. When coming back to the U.S., his wife was deported because her work visa expired. Of course, there's regret for voting for Donald Trump. Of course, there is. If you're not paying attention to the world, then you wouldn't understand. Guys, take a look at the speech that the Canadian president made. yesterday. The new Canadian president yesterday. Now that is what a president is supposed to sound and look like, that is running the United States. Such command of wording, of thought, of compassion. He said we can no longer trust the American people to be our allies. Do you understand what that means for this country? When our closest ally says they cannot depend on us. And we as a people, no, basically what he said was, what he said was, you American people hired a game show host to be your leader. You hired a game show host to be your leader. That's what the Canadian president said yesterday. Okay. And we allow this to happen because most of you all are not educated enough to understand the difference between the two parties, the difference between what Donald Trump was saying and what Kamala was saying. And I get it. You didn't want to vote for the DEI candidate, the black woman. Now look where we are. We're in the middle of going to a full-fledged cliff drop-off. And here's the thing. We don't know where we're going to fall because of this cliff drop-off. The farmers are going to go, they're going to close. Family farms are going to have to close. Minnesota, they don't know what they're going to do. Wait a minute. For example, I have a buddy, a young man that I was talking to. He was the only one born in the United States. His parents and his brother and sister were not born in the United States. Do you know he has to, everything is in his name? And his parents and his brothers cannot go out of the house because they're afraid they might not come back home. What kind of America do we have? What kind of America do we have? He's legal, but they're not legal. And so when they protested yesterday, I was like, okay, black folk, you can go and help protest, but what good does it do for us to help you all? What good does it do for us to stand up if you don't stand up for yourself? More than 50% of Hispanic women and Hispanic and white women and white men and Hispanic men voted for Donald Trump. And you all were affected the most. You all have become affected the most, to the detriment of your families, to the detriment of your farms, to the detriment of your jobs, your retirement, your Social Security, your veterans benefits, to the detriment of you. We don't say we told you so. Us black women just told you that we voted 92% because we saw the tragedy before it was coming. And this is a tragedy. And you know why this is a tragedy? Because it's a different story when a president enacts legislation that affects one or two groups. When it affects one or two groups of people, this affected every person across the board in a negative way. What Trump and Doge and Elon Musk, the Republicans are allowing to happen is affecting every person down the line. That's how I know it's not a good thing. It's not affecting everyone to the good or one or two people to the good. Everything is negative. Everything is negative. Okay. And I'm like, how can we recover from something like this? People don't understand how bad. I'm telling y'all, go and listen to the president of Canada make that speech yesterday. That speech yesterday, that is the commanding presence of a president. He said we cannot rely on America because America hired a game show host for the president. Do you understand how embarrassing this is? This is embarrassing. Put that president next to Donald Trump on the screen, and it is a stark contrast to what is going on. That is why most black folk did not go out and protest yesterday. It was supposed to be a nationwide protest, but a lot of black folks stood down. We stood down. This is a Caucasoid problem. This is a Hispanic problem. You all put them in office. It's up to you all to do the protest. It's up to you all to go to your legislature, go to your representative. It's up to you all. The only way to stop this, the only way to stop this madness is we have 2 years to pull this shit together and usher in new representative. We cannot allow the people that are there right now, the Republicans there that are right now, we cannot allow them to stay in office. Otherwise, we're going to continue to slide. I'm hoping that this has not been a permanent damage to our economy. But I fear that is what's going to happen. It's going to get worse because prices are going up. If any of you have been paying attention, if you have looked at your gas pricing, but on Wednesday, gas prices were, just for example, gas prices were $3 on Friday. But right after that tariff was announced, the tariffs that he put in place, gas prices went up 20 some cent. And it's going to continue to rise under this president because they're going to start trying to get as much money as they can because they can't trust what the president says. Why would I deal with a president who changes his mind on a whim when he feels like changing his mind on a whim? He is assaulting the country on all fronts. He doesn't want people to talk bad about him in the news, so he tries to sue news agencies. That's not in our country. That is something that's against freedom of speech. I should be able to say whatever I want to say to whomever I want to say it and not get penalized because you don't like what I say. This president tries to penalize people for what they say about him. That's not presidential. Melania is just a doll. She's just a puppet. Okay? They went along, and the women, the white women, Hispanic women, some black women, who have allowed this man to get rid of Roe versus Wade. You allowed him to erode. This is the only generation where they're going to have less female reproductive rights than my generation. That's only one of the affronts on this particular society. Y'all hit the like button. Everybody coming in and nobody want to hit the like button. It's not like I'm asking for super chats. I'm asking for just a like button here. So I'm saying, what do we do? As poor people, what y'all gonna do? What we gonna do? We just gonna allow all this to happen? We just gonna allow him to do what he gotta do? We just gonna allow him to get away with all this stuff? Every person has been affected by something that this president has done. Where are all the people who were saying, he's gonna make me money? He's gonna make me money. He's not going to make you money. He's going to lose you money. And I'll tell you why. People say, well, he put the tariffs in place. He put the tariffs in place to bring back manufacturing jobs. But those are low-skilled, low-wage jobs. unskilled jobs that would even come back. And even if they did come back, it would take years for investment. It would take at least 8, 9 years of investment. It would take 2 or 3 presidents for manufacturing to come. Listen to me. It will take 2 to 3 presidents for manufacturing to come back to this country. 2 or 3. Trump would have to be on board for manufacturing to come back. The next president would have to be on board with the tariffs. Then the next president would have to be on the tariffs. And seeing as how he canceled some kind of chip act, some kind of chip manufacturing thing we were contracted to do with another country, now we're gonna be behind in AI. It's so many affronts. It's so many negative things that have been done, all within a span of 3 months, 4 months. How are we going to recover? We almost like a France post war. It's like we told y'all before y'all voted for this man. We told you that this was going to happen. We told you the prices were going to go up. We told you that we weren't going to get manufacturing back. We told you he was going to fire all these people. We told you he wouldn't be able to tell the difference between criminal immigrants and regular immigrants. All just people that are brown are getting took. And most of those are regular, ordinary individuals. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. And we told you all this. Now y'all drug us down this hole. Now we got drugged down this hole with you. The reason why they're doing the cuts to find money is to give the money to the rich. They have to be able to afford the tax cuts. That's what they're going to say. They're going to say, we cut enough money so that we can give the tax cuts to the rich. And by the way, y'all might get a little bit of that tax cut, but not enough to make a difference. Right now, this administration has cost us Americans $4,000 a year. We got to pay more, $4,000 more a year. Because of what has happened and already gone on. I just don't see how you look and you support it. And there's a lot of y'all out there that are one issue voters. Well, he was against abortion, blah, blah, blah. That pales in, ain't nobody thinking about no AB. Ain't nobody thought about that in I don't know how long. That wasn't even important. That wasn't even the important part. The important part was losing your rights as a female. Now they're trying to take away birth control. They're trying to ban birth control in some cities and some states. You watch out right now. Your daughter is going to be one of these bum Keishas having 3, 4, 10 kids because she can't get abortion. She can't get birth control. You watch it. This is where we at. People start fighting. People start fighting. Start standing up. Talking to your representatives. Writing to Congress. Calling your Republican. The only way to stop this is to vote them out come 2026. 2020 is 2026? 2026. That's the only way to get rid of these people. That's the only way. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like no foreigner running around in my shit. Elon Musk is a foreigner. I don't want him running around in my money, running around in my treasury, running around. I don't want no foreigner doing none of that. Okay? I don't want no foreigner doing that. This is an American issue. This is an American problem. Americans need to fix it by getting him out of there. Okay? No, I don't want you talking to my president, telling my president that he shouldn't give a damn about the regular, ordinary, individual people. No, get him up out of there. Okay? Get him up out of there. Then we need to concentrate on how we getting out of the mess that we have gotten into. Saner heads need to prevail. Saner heads need to get there. And my whole point is, you vote locally, you vote for nationally, you vote them folks out. Okay? You vote them folks out and we get a fresh set of folks in there. We need a fresh pair of eyes. We need a younger pair of eyes. We need some of these smart AI people, these smart college graduates. We need some of these smart folks to be in there. Because you old folks have run the country in the ground. Y'all need to get up out of there. And I say, everybody vote. You vote, and you vote. Whoever's in there now, you vote them out. Whoever is in there now, you vote them out. So we can have some fresh eyes on the problems. Fresh eyes on the problem. Y'all hit the like button. Y'all come on in. I don't ask for super chats. I never do. I'm asking for the likes. Please come on. We got to do this. We know what it is. Likes, not likes. However you want to do it. Don't like it, like it. I don't care which one. But do something. So I'm saying we need fresh pair of eyes in there. Right. No, positive people. We need positive people. We need people who want to move our country forward. And this is another thing I wanted to say. Another thing I wanted to say. Somebody said something about the abortion issue. Yeah, I know. It was a Gen X. I get it. A president is supposed to be the president for every person, right? He's not supposed to follow your agenda and just your agenda. Following this agenda is not the agenda of the whole of the United States. Whatever agenda he's doing, it's not the United States. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I would never vote for this. Never. Okay? He's a president for every person. His agenda should be for the good of everyone, not for the good of the rich. Not for the good of... It should be for everyone. Okay? When you tell me that you're cutting the benefits for the veterans, you're cutting the benefits for the handicapped, you're cutting the benefits for the old people, you're cutting the benefits for the indigent, the mentally ill, you're cutting the benefits for those people, then I have a problem. You voted, you don't know what you voted for. You voted because gas prices, no, food prices were. You mean to tell me we got thrown into the shitter because you were concerned about food prices? When you vote, you're supposed to vote for the collective of people, not just what you want, the collective of people. I don't want him to cut people's jobs. But I understand there needs to be some kind of accountability for waste. Okay? That's why I would vote for somebody who was cutting waste or whatever. But I would think in terms of how it affects every person, not just me. A lot of people, oh, Donald Trump gonna give me money. Donald Trump gonna give me, what do you mean give you money? You voted for Donald Trump because he was giving you money? But yet and still he's over there cutting benefits for our veterans. So you would choose him saving you money as opposed to cutting the benefits of the veterans when they can't afford for their benefits to be cut. See what I'm saying? When you vote, you don't vote just for you. You vote for the collective. Okay? That's the whole point. The whole point. Brooklyn, man, that's the whole point. Why are your kind so rude and disgusting with everything? Just tell your folks to behave, have manners, stop the victim mindset, go outside and work for it. Be the charge. Please, Brooklyn, man, please. Not today. It's the wrong live stream. If you can't see outside yourself, Brooklyn, man, if you can't see outside yourself, I get it. I get it. I don't have a victim mindset. I just know that we're in the shitter. If you don't know that you're in the shitter, who am I? Who am I to enlighten you? You want to stay unenlightened? Be unenlightened. I can't help it. You want to be stupid. I can't help that. Can't help that. I'm just telling you where we are in the market, where we are today. So we all have to do something. The only thing I can think of is figure out how we're going to vote these folks out of office who are not representing us the way we want to be represented. Okay? And I started this off with the protest that was supposed to happen. Okay? Okay? I started this at the protest from the protest of what happened yesterday. I said, was there a lot of black folk that showed up? Okay? Was there a lot of black folk, or did they stand down? Because we definitely was blowing the horn and saying, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And so here we are. And I'm saying, learn your local representative, learn your senator, learn the way they vote, learn the way that you can change anything around. Learn to do all of those things. Okay? Just don't vote because you think everybody, because I think it's a collective mindset. You heard he was voting for Trump, so let me vote for Trump. And then you heard stuff, then you really didn't understand what was going on. You just, hey, everybody gonna vote for Trump. Let's go on vote for Trump. Not even thinking about the repercussions of you not even paying attention to what was going on in the world. Like I said, most white folks and Hispanic folks, you didn't expect him to do it. You expected him to do this deportation, but you thought he was just gonna crash for the criminally Hispanic people, criminal foreigners, or criminal illegal aliens. Y'all explain to me how they know the difference between a criminal illegal alien and a regular person that's got brown skin walking down the street. Please explain to us how, because I'd love to know. And you say, suspicion? What do you mean suspicion? I'm just walking down the street. Why you stop me? Why I get pulled over? I got a tattoo that look funny. You gonna put me in the truck and then you gonna deport me without due process? What? This is what y'all allowed to happen. And nobody's saying a thing. Like this is normal. People being deported without due process is normal to y'all. Nobody got no protest. Nobody got nothing to say. Next thing you know, they're going to be deporting dark folks. Matter of fact, they are starting to deport dark folks. They're going to start deporting all of y'all. They don't like you, you going to Guantanamo Bay. Most of y'all don't even know what Guantanamo Bay is. But that's the whole point. We're sitting it out. Because we made the protest on November 4th. We put in our protest. And you all said, no, we're not going to listen. Okay? We're not going to listen to what y'all had to say. Now, we black folk can't do nothing. Cause he trying to disappear us. All them woke folks. Woke folks mean black folks. They trying to disappear us. Tuskegee Airmen they try to get rid of. We tired of saying this is the problem and we have an issue and y'all saying no, the white man can solve it. The white man can solve everything. Donald Trump know everything. I know the black folk overwhelmingly voted for Kamala. And we thank you for that vote. That's why I said the protest from yesterday, it's up to you white folks and you Hispanic folks to get tired of it. Y'all got to get tired of it. Y'all got to get tired, big and tired of it. Because he fired most of y'all from the government. Good morning, yes, freak, Chicago Rilla. He fired most of y'all, and he's deporting you legal immigrant, not illegal, not illegal, legal immigrants without due process. Sending them over to a foreign jail without due process. But as a collective, black folk as a collective, even the men, my brothers, thank you for coming over there. Thank you for understanding. We understood. Y'all didn't trust Kamala, but you should never have trusted this president. Never, because we had the same issue with him before. So you had to choose the lesser of two evils. Y'all chose the evil. Y'all chose the more evil. Now we got a foreigner in our government, running our government, Elon Musk. God only knows what he's telling the president in his ear. Because Donald only respect people who got money, and he got more money than most people, than anybody. You think Donald Trump ain't listening to that man? You think that man can't walk into Donald Trump office and say, hey, we need to do this, and Donald Trump do it? That's the problem. I don't care about Trump personally. That's not the point. The point is he's not capable of running a complex ecosystem like the United States. Y'all go and look at that speech that Canadian president made yesterday. That man commanded the room, commanded the presence. This is what a leader was supposed to look like. He said yesterday, I cannot trust Donald Trump, a game show host. He said, I cannot trust you all. You hired a game show host for your president. That's what that man said yesterday. You all hired a game show host for your president. And I don't have nothing against Donald Trump personally. I just don't believe he's capable of running a complex system like the United States. People think because he's a businessman, that man got 6 bankruptcies. How does a person who has 6 bankruptcies know how to run a complex ecosystem like the United States? How could you all have thought that? That's what the man said yesterday, that Canadian president. He said, you all, the American public, have got to go along with this game show host because you all hired him. And that is how the world looks at that man. So I'm saying black folks stood down yesterday. We got to let these white folk, we got to let these Hispanic folk figure this out for themselves. Because they got us into this. They dragged us into this. Our brothers, y'all was right there with us. Y'all was right there with us. 84% is still a B average, goddammit. Averaged out 89%. We told you at a high B, negative A or A negative, we told the world that we have to do it. Yeah, we got to do our own thing. We got to invest in our own selves. What was scary, Chicago Rilla? What was scary is when when he started taking DEI and dismantling public schools, dismantling, trying to take down the Tuskegee Airmen stuff, Jackie Robinson stuff. When that was scary to me, because I was like, you trying to erase all of the progress us black folk have made. This is how you trying to get rid of the black folk. So that's why I said we got it. Your local representative. We got to get these people out of all. See, here's the thing. I think all of those people in Washington, they done been here long enough. They done been here long enough. We need to start voting in fresh batches of people who understand how the world works, how the world is changing, ever evolving, how we have to be a world leader on the stage. That man yesterday, that Canadian prime minister, you put him next to Trump, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing what I saw. It's embarrassing the way this man had command of the language, command of the system that he runs, the command of what how he wants his country to go forward. And he said we can no longer depend on the United States. Right, right. You new prime minister. Yeah, he spoke yesterday. You go listen to that man, the way that man talks, the way the man's presence is there, the leadership, the command. That's what we supposed to have in the United States. If we're the most powerful country in the world, are we considered the most powerful country in the world now, still, or are we a laughing stock on this planet? I hate, I hate that that's what we turned into. When someone tells you this is what's going to happen if you place the tariffs, and people tell you this, it's not a long term. See, people think him putting in tariffs is going to bring back manufacturing jobs. No, it won't. You have to have 2, 3 presidents. You have to think long term. 2, 3 presidents have to be in agreement to do something like that. Okay? To do something like that. Because manufacturing is going to take 6, 7 years in order for it to evolve. And then they might be low skilled, low paying jobs. There has to be investment in manufacturing back here in the United States. It has to be commitments made, contracts made. That will take years for that to develop. Then you have to figure out what jobs are coming back, whether they're going to be able to pay the 25, 30 job. Nobody's bringing manufacturing back here when they're paying $10 an hour in China, and they come back here and then got to pay us $20 an hour. Ain't no way nobody bringing back no manufacturing. Guys, hit the like button. That's all I'm asking is the like button. I ain't asking for no super chats or nothing. That's all we can get. We can get like button hit. If you don't do nothing else, you can hit my like button. The whole point is people think that we can bring back manufacturing jobs just like that. It will take 6, 7 years before that even happen. And it ain't going to do us no good because we already in our professions. And those going to be low skilled jobs because over there they make chips and they make textiles and they make stuff like that. Ain't nobody over here going to work for no $10 an hour to work slave and bring manufacturing over here. Manufacturing companies ain't going to make no money. That's why we outsourced it. We outsourced it for a reason. For the bogus labor. Okay. We outsourced it because of that. And because people say, oh, he gonna bring back manufacturing jobs. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. And people say, oh, that one thing he just announced that Honda or whatever was gonna build a factory. That was under Biden. Biden already made that. They were negotiating with Biden. It had nothing to do with Trump. Stop it. Stop it. These things are years in the making. They don't just happen overnight. You don't become president one day and then you start announcing that Honda or wherever is gonna make a factory. That's years in the making under Biden. Y'all be killing me. Y'all be killing me. So here we are down this rabbit hole. So what do we got to do, y'all? What we got to do? We got to vote our representative. We got to vote for the representative that is a collective senator or whatever. A collective senator, a person that believes in helping all of their constituents, not just the rich. Because I guarantee you, we going to get them tax cuts. And them tax cuts going to go to them rich folks. And them rich folks going to get richer. And the veterans, they cutting the veteran benefits. They cutting the old people Social Security. They cutting Medicaid. If they cut even 10% out of Medicaid, that stops the benefits from going to certain states. They have a 90% cutoff rate. So when it hits a certain amount, the state don't get no money. They don't get no money. And if they do the $880 billion that they say they're going to do, that's going to cut all the benefits for the veterans, the homeless, the older people, the senior citizens, Medicaid, the food stamp. That's going to cut all of that. Okay? So I'm saying, y'all have to think about what y'all be voting for. When y'all be voting, nobody thought that it was going to be them. Nobody thought. I know white folk didn't think it was going to be them. They thought, hey, let's punish them black folk. Let's punish them damn brown folk. Let's punish them trans. Do y'all know that around the world in any competitive competition, there was only 10 transsexuals. 10 transsexuals. And people in the Trump administration spent millions and millions of dollars to demonize those 10 transsexuals. And that's what got a lot of y'all to vote for him. We don't want no transsexuals in the bathroom. We don't want them doing sports. Because there was 10 transsexuals in the world doing sports, y'all voted for Donald Trump. This is what I mean. This is that one thing that man got right. It's some ignorant cusses when it come to politics. Y'all ignorant as hell about manipulation tactics. Because he manipulated the hell out of half the people that voted for him. And to this day, and some people still don't see it. Okay? It was 10 transsexuals. Yeah, we know we know that most of our blue people didn't come out and vote. Most of the blue people didn't come out and vote. We stood down. Blue white folks stood down. Because they were mad about Gaza. They were mad about Ukraine. No, it wasn't the entire country, honey. If you look at the voting right, over more than a couple million people did not vote. And with those couple million people not voting, that's how your goofy candidate got into it. And this is why we have the president that we have. Because you didn't want a dude in the daughter's bathroom. One dude out of 10. 10 dudes in the world. 10 transunion, 10 transformers on sports teams. And Trump used that to demonize those 10 people. It was only 10. Look it up. There's only 10 trans people on any kind of international sports thing. And they demonized those 10 trans people. And if you listen to Trump, they trying to take our kids out of the school and take them down and get a sex change and then bring them back. Make it make sense. And a lot of you goofy people fail for that. One person does not make a trend. That's all I'm saying. If it was a whole school doing it, it'd be a different story. If it was, but I'm not saying it was a school, period. What I am saying is that should never have been a part of your vote because somebody told you a trans person went into a bathroom. And Kamala was going to allow the trans people to take over. Trans people. Kamala was a trans lover. Boy. Trump said he got the ignorantest electorate to vote for him, and he ain't lied about that. Because if you didn't do your research and you voted for him because he said something about the trans people, then you're ignorant about politics, and you shouldn't be voting if you don't understand. So the whole point, no, before the election, not after the election. It could be 10 women. I love when you do that. All I'm saying is, y'all, we gotta do something. But you know who I really don't like? You know who I really blame for all of this? And then I get out of here. It's Mitch McConnell. If y'all notice, Mitch McConnell has voted no every time Trump wanted something done. Mitch McConnell has voted no since Trump has been elected. Remember, Mitch McConnell was the person that stopped the impeachment in the Senate. Mitch McConnell was in charge of the Senate. See, when you impeach somebody, Donald Trump was impeached twice in the House. The House impeaches you, and then it's up to the Senate to confirm the impeachment. The House convicted him 2 times. The Senate said no 2 times under Mitch McConnell's rule. So I blame Mitch McConnell, because if Mitch McConnell didn't say yes to what was obvious to the rest of the nation, that the thing that Donald Trump done these things, if Mitch McConnell would have said yes, he is guilty of these things, we never would have had another Donald Trump reign. So I blame Mitch McConnell for this. Now, everything that Donald Trump has put down the pike for the Senate to vote on, Mitch McConnell has said no. It's too late, Mitch. You allowed this man back in the office. You allowed this man back in the office. Where's the energy for who? Wait a minute, who was that? Sean, where was this energy for Joe Biden? What do you mean energy? Joe Biden is the one who kept us out of the recession, dingbat. Man, look, I can't engage with you if you ain't gonna be an honest broker, man. If you're not gonna be an honest broker, stop it. Be an honest broker. Engage in the conversation. Don't engage in the what-isms. We're not talking about Joe Biden. We're talking about the president that is taking us down the recession path right now. Be an honest broker when it comes to what we're going through. That's why the normal, everyday, average person don't even know what's going on. They just go on and living their lives. You need to get to the news, son. Okay. Yes, no, he didn't. He didn't make it worse. That's why I say I can't engage with you. You didn't hear nobody say anything about a recession when Biden was in office, because Biden was holding the recession back. This is what I mean by honest broker. You can't have a conversation with folks. That's why I can't engage with folks who don't want to be honest about stuff. All they want to hear is Biden wasn't no good. We're not talking about Biden. We're talking about the president that has drug us down this recession hole. Okay. This president drag us down a recession hole. Biden didn't drag us down a recession hole. Trump put us in a recession hole on his first term. If you're not gonna be honest, don't please, 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 please don't engage with me. There's plenty of other channels that you can hear your talking points or hear what you want to hear. But all I'm saying is please read. That's all I'm saying. Please read. Please learn how to read. Please learn how to read. And not just the places that you like to read from. Read from the places that you don't want to read from. That's what I encourage people to do. I listen to Fox News, Ben Shapiro, what is his name? Joe Rogan. I listen to all of them. And then I listen to the other side. Midas Touch, CNN. I listen to both sides. And I make a determination. Please, please stop listening to just your one side. Please learn to listen to the other side too and make an informed decision. Because if you think this president didn't take us down the wrong road, then you're not reading. You have to read. You have to read 5 sources here. And I challenge y'all. I challenge you to read the 5 sources on this side and this side and see where the difference is. And then learn to make a informed decision. Please make an informed decision. We can't afford to have an ignorant electorate anymore. We can't afford for y'all just to blindly follow folks who say, we voting for Trump. We voting for Trump. Kamala ain't black. Kamala, I don't give a fuck if she green. I don't give a fuck if she orange. That's the whole point. But that was a distraction. Okay? That was a distraction. Her being black had nothing to do with the issue. Whether she cosplay over here or she cosplay over there, that made no difference whatsoever. And it should not have to the American electorate. But Donald Trump said it best. I love an ignorant voting bloc. And them is my friends. And them is the people that vote for me. Chicago, really, if you listen to that man showed command and present and thorough knowledge and of the facts. That is the kind of president that we want to have on our side. We're embarrassed. Okay. The whole point, Sean, is she was going to hold the recession off until we didn't have a recession. Okay. Your president just blew a hole in our goddamn dam. He just blew a hole in our goddamn economy. Dummy or no, she would have listened to the damn economist. Ugh. Please read, child. Stop talking to me and read. Stop talking to me and read. Because you're on here talking about dummy. Because you're on here talking about dummy. And Trump is one of the dumbest presidents we've ever had. Jesus. That's why I'm saying, maybe you just, I'm sorry. I keep talking to a low information voter. Let me stop. Yo, the best thing we can do is to invest. That's what I was looking at my stock the other night. I was looking to see whether I can cut some of it in half and then reinvest it in some of the lower stocks and some of the lower things that crashed or wasn't any good. That's what I'm looking at right now. How can I take some out and then invest it in something else that's low level that I know is probably gonna rise a little bit more than what it was. I was looking at the other night, about 2 nights ago. Cause hell, you can't afford, you have 30,000 in the bank and then it shoot to 10,000. We don't have an echo chamber over here, Sean Real. You hang out where there's echo chambers. I don't ever do echo chambers. I don't ever go against, I don't ever say the same things to everybody. I don't say that. I don't say the same things to the people I deal with. They know, every person that talk to me know I'm a contrarian. I say everything against the grain. If it's right, I'll say it. If it's wrong, I won't. This ain't never no echo chamber over here. Okay? Never. I know the 401k is trash, and we don't even know what to do about that. I'm gonna get some more. There was one guy who got off the internet. He was very good at predicting what you should do, how you should move, how you should roll. But they always talk about people got a lot of money. We need somebody who understands regular, everyday, average human beings who can help us out of this situation. What do we do as a regular, everyday, average people who make less than 100,000? What can we do to help staff off this recession? What can we do? Do we start putting canned goods together? Do we start? Yeah, Chicago A&O is good too, but I ain't heard from him. I always go over there too, but I ain't heard from him either. Uh, do we put canned goods together? Do we start stocking up? Do we start pulling our money out of the stock market? We need somebody who knows those things. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I don't know what to do. Because in 2022, right? October 2022, I put $1,000 in the stock market. Now it's worth 16,000. In 2 years, 2.5 years, I came up. Sunday afternoon, early afternoon. In 2 years, my stock market came up from 1,000 to 16,000. So if I lose it all the way to 1,000, okay, fine. But I don't want to lose it all the way to 1,000. That's just one investment, one. But I mean, I have different ones. You know what I'm saying? But I was particularly looking at that because that was just a random $1,000 that I put into the market. So what do? I don't know what we do. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what we do, but I do know one thing. You white folks and you Hispanic folks, y'all got to dig us out of this now. Y'all got to get us out of this because we told you, as black folk, a collective. Okay, that was under Biden though. Because I looked at it, because the other night I was I was on a live and I was looking. They were talking about stocks and I pulled my stock up. It said October 2022. I put $1,000 in, and this year, April 3rd, I got 16,000 made off of that 1,000. Okay. I'm saying y'all pull your bootstraps together. I know that I'm collecting canned goods. I know I stopped eating out. I know I'm paying more than the minimum on my credit cards. I know I'm not trying to spend no more money except what I have to. I ain't buying no new clothes. I'm buying new clothes every 3 months if I gotta buy it. I'm trying to get my hair done like every 3 months. So I got to do what I got to do in order to staff off what I need to staff off because I don't know how bad it's gonna get. Shit, you people losing their job left, right, and center. What they gonna do? So when I was talking about people going to that march yesterday, black folks having to stand down, I meant that. I was serious about that because we as a collective, black folks, we said this is what was gonna come to pass if we elected Donald Trump, and the worse than what we thought. Okay, we gonna go over there. We finna go over there. Aaron O, if he's live, we're gonna go over there. I'd redirect everybody to go over to Aaron O's. Okay, I'm finna end this right now. So I'm saying that's why I made the banner that I did. Black folks stand down. We got to see what y'all do. What it look like me fighting for y'all, and y'all ain't gonna fight for yourself. What it look like us black folk fighting for y'all Hispanics and y'all white folk, and y'all don't fight for yourself. Oh, okay. Central Standard Time. So what? Oh yeah. So in about hour, 2 hours. Okay. So what it look like? We fighting for y'all and y'all not gonna fight for yourself. Now it's affecting you all. Come on, y'all. Come on. We got to do better. We got to vote out those people that are in there. We got to stand on our own interest. We got to find our own interest, our own money, our own support. Okay. Online, there's something that has a whole big slew of black people making products, owners, tissue, soap, you name it. There's a website that you can go to, and it'll be a list of all of the people who sell whatever that are black or Hispanic. I'm just saying, we need to rally the troops, y'all. We need to rally the troops. So this is the end of this rant that I had. But y'all, please hit the like button. Hit the like button. What's his name? His name is Justice. Justice. This is not an echo chamber. This is not an echo chamber. If you listen to any of my content, you already know I'm going to say something that ain't going to match up with everybody. But one thing you got to know when you talk to me is I always want to have I always want to put people and human beings first. Because most people are good people. Most people want to do the right thing. Most people just got their nose to the grindstone trying to do whatever. Most people. And I always side on the people that are doing good and who want to move forward in this life. Not people who want to do negative things. I like the positive things. I like the facts, and I like positive moving forward. So please don't feel like you ain't welcome on my channel. What? Lord have mercy. Somebody just wrote to me, threw me off. Don't, welcome my channel, really. Respectfully so. I think your president has taken us down the wrong path, and that's okay. But hopefully we can vote him out in 2026. It is what it is. And I thank y'all. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Share, like, do all those good things. Please. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And listen to my rant. And go over to see Aaron O. Y'all go see Aaron O when he comes on, okay? Thank you. Thank you.